Today we're going to discuss the dashboard page on the Sentinel Next 2.0 software. The first thing you'll notice when you log in, you will see a list of all your sensors available to you on the left pane, as well as a list of all the open alarms on the right pane. Starting with the left pane, at the top there are filters which you can click on if you have any problems such as an inactive sensor. And if we click on that, it brings up just that one sensor so that you can then click on the details or follow up on that issue and fix it. To undo that filter, simply click it again. Below the filters is a search bar. This is handy when you have many sensors. So if you search for the sensor name, I'm going to search for MVH. And only the sensor names starting with MVH show up. Obviously, you can filter that further by typing more of the name in. To undo that, just delete the text. Below that, you have your list of sensors, which is a clickable list to open up details about that sensor. That opens up on the right pane information about the sensor, including the name and technical information, as well as the current temp, the current thresholds that are set up, when it was last seen, what's the battery voltage, where is it located, how is it set up, and what alarm profile is it set up to, as well as down at the bottom of the pane, the graph interface. And what you will notice is with the new temperature graph is when you mouse over it, it pops up with the engineering units as well as your exact date and time stamps. On the graph interface, you have date selectors. You have your default last 100 readings, last 10 minutes, 1 hour, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year. Or you can choose to do a custom date period. So you can really dig in and see exactly what you want. Down below the graph, you have sliders that allow you to dig in and find a very specific portion of the graph. And as well on the graph, we mark the min and max on that particular time period. To the right of the graph tab is the data tab. Now this is where you're going to have your data listed out for you in engineering units with exact date stamps. And again, you can choose the same intervals as well as a custom time period if you so choose, and a download button to download this via CSV. To the right of that is the Open Alarms tab, and this is a way to dig into what alarms are open specifically for that sensor that you're looking at. Here you can choose any of your alarms and pick a reason for it and acknowledge it from here. I'm going to leave this one open because I'm going to close it later when I show the alarms, as well as your closed alarms tab so you can see the alarm history for that specific sensor. To the right of that is your alarm statistics tab, and this will show you how many alarms that you've had over a period of time. Now you have 24 hours, 7 days, 1 month, or a custom time period that you can choose. And we can see how often it has been an alarm and for what reason. To the right of that is the health tab, and this works a lot like the temperature graph. You can choose which parameter that you're looking for, including battery, signal strength, or connectivity. And the date picking also works the same as the temperature graph, as well as a custom time period there. But this gives you a historical view of whatever parameter that you're looking at, in this case, the battery voltage. To the right of that is the Reports tab. And here we have our CDC report. And you can select your time interval. By default, it's monthly, and you can select your month and year and generate a report. And it will come up down here for you to print, and it'll show up as a PDF for you. And that report includes your twice-a-day measurements, your min and max for the day, your average readings for the day, standard deviations, and MKTs, as well as any alarms that happened during that period that you chose. Now, you can choose a custom time period instead of going with a set month. Now, on the right side of the screen, you have your open and closed alarms. I'm going to start with open alarms. And you can select your alarms. Pick a reason why it was happening. You can make notes. I'm not going to make one now. And acknowledge it, and it will close that alarm. And it will show up in the Closed Alarms tab. So this is everything you can do on the main dashboard page just right after logging in on the Sentinel Next 2.0 software. Thank you.